Hi, I'm Mark Camoccio and we're back at Pete's Airgun Farm and just showing you an old classic here. Call it old, but it's a gun that's been in the Weihrauch lineup for some while, but obviously it's earned its place because it really is a nice piece of machinery. It's the Weihrauch 90K, and if you're not familiar with that, that's the model that's got the originally Theoben designed gas ram system inside. So we'd have a normal conventional mainspring for the spring piston design. Instead of the spring, you've got a contained chamber of air. In the early days, they were actually using gas, but it's now just a contained chamber of air. And then as you cock the gun, you're compressing that chamber of air, and then that reacts like a spring. So that expands where the spring would have expanded, and the pellet's still driven by normal air. It's a very nice gun. Obviously, originally there was a deal between Theoben and Weihrauch, and Theoben were actually apparently producing the gas ram innards, but of course, obviously Theoben are now long gone, sadly. And but Weihrauch are still running with this model, and they make the whole thing in house. And I have to say, I mean, I've shot now. Obviously, gas rams have become very trendy, so a lot of manufacturers are producing them. And I've shot most of them, and I have to say that they're not always better than spring piston. Some are quite harsh and quite even unpleasant, I would say, to shoot. This remains definitely one of the best, equal best, and it's a fabulous gun. So it's got those proper qualities of the gas ram system and why it was designed in the first place, which is to be slick and super smooth. Because the whole point is, if you're replacing the spring, you're trying to get away from the twang and the resonance from a mainspring, and the sort of crude feel that has, and this does that very well. So I'll just show you this is a conventional brake barrel system, so I'll just fire it off first of all. So a quick jolt to brake the barrel. You've got the classic solid breech of Weihrauch, so if you ever felt any wear in the breech, which is the sort of the 1 weak area in theory of a brake barrel system, you can just nip the bolt up. You've got total tension there, and so you can sort of cater for any wear further down the line. So you take that in one hand, cock that. That's really smooth. It's a strange sensation with gas rams, and it sort of builds. But that's once you get momentum into the swing, it's a very, very smooth cocking stroke. So I'll just feed about a pellet into the breech. Push that all the way. Barrel up. You've got a nice smooth lock up, and then here you've got an auto safety on here. You just press that button to release it. So I'll do that. I'll just fire the shot. I don't know if you quite picked that up, but it's astonishingly smooth, very quiet. Obviously you've got there the Weihrauch factory silencer fitted, which is one of the most efficient anyway, but it's particularly smooth and quiet, and this it really does shoot well. So quite it's sort of an ultra refined system here, and as I say, about as good as the gas ram gets. Got a sporter style beach stock that's ambidextrous. I say ambidextrous, it's got a right hand defined cheek piece, but it's so sort of mild, and it's not a strong definition, so you can easily shoot it either way, and you won't really tell the difference. You've got laser applied cut checkering there. You've got chemical bluing throughout. As I say, the factory silencer, which is just a screw thread fit onto the barrel. The trigger unit on these, whereas most Weihrauchs, the springers will all have the record trigger unit, which obviously is highly acclaimed. For this, they designed a specific trigger, which was the Elite. And although I've heard some curious comments about the fact that it doesn't work as well, that's not my experience at all. It's a particularly good, another refined, crisp unit, and as I say, you've got the auto safety there, but if you want to reapply the safety catch, you've got a neat little triangular button there, and that you press that and that resets the safety catch, so it's quite nice attention to detail. Obviously the usual arrestor studs on the scope rail, that's all standard Weihrauch, but that's pretty well it. But I highly recommend this. 30 yards, I mean, I've had easy sub half inch groups with a variety of pellets. That is Range Master Day-to-Day Rangemaster lights, but I've also had that with JSB Exact and various others, so it's not particularly pellet fussy. It is quite heavy, 8.8 pounds, so it's quite a handful. On test this was doing 11 foot-pounds, so sort of bang on how most manufacturers are setting the air guns up at the moment. These are 460 quid at the moment, but you are getting a particularly solid piece of engineering, sort of classic Weihrauch, and as I say, one of the best gas rounds available. So that's the Weihrauch 90K.